Ross, the Housing Scotland Bill is in the middle of a consultation. I think it started just a couple of weeks ago or so, and the consultation continues until July. And it is to get some input from those, I guess, involved in the Scottish private rented sector, get some input into the exemptions that are being considered around rent caps and the ability or not to increase rents. So, maybe you can tell us what those exemptions are, but I think, having read it just briefly myself, and I know you've read it more, but having read it myself, I thought that it showed, again, this continual move towards a more balanced view than certainly we used to have. I know that it was really bad before, and that we shouldn't sort of take too much heart from the fact that it's better than it was, because we don't want to be anchored in all that negativity from before. But it certainly seems to me that they're considering some aspects of the private rented sector. I know that you're going to talk about build to rent and so on. So, what kind of reasons would they allow landlords to increase rent?
Yeah, so the consultation is discussing exemption for certain types of properties from rent control. So in the consultation, they discuss mid-market rents. So that is defined as properties aimed at people on low to moderate incomes and their ability to access affordable rental accommodation. So the reasons for listing that as a possible exemption was that they want more investment in this type of housing provision. Similar reasoning for the build to rent. They've specified in their consultation that they want to encourage investment in this sector because they feel it has a positive impact on the supply of rental housing. So it's interesting that they've identified those two areas of the property market and think that they want to expand on it, encourage more investment, get more properties available for prospective tenants. Nothing about private landlords in those two areas, not wanting to exempt private landlords in the same way. However, they have specified a couple of exemptions aimed at private landlords. One is where there's significant improvements to the property are undertaken. So energy efficiency improvements, upgrading the heating system, installing new windows and doors, significant upgrades to the kitchen and bathroom. And also where a landlord is letting a property to a tenant at rent significantly below the market rate. So those are listed in the consultation, and I think, as you said earlier, the consultation runs until the 18th of July, and we probably encourage as many people as possible to submit their views to the Scottish Parliament. And I think you're right, the language or the sound bites that are coming out of the Scottish Parliament are a little bit softer now than they were maybe 2 or 3 years ago. Maybe that's because the Greens are no longer having a say in how things are moving forward. But yeah, I still think that it may be a little bit unfair that the mid-market rents and the build-to-rent sectors are sort of being identified as, maybe we should keep those separate from private landlords. But it'd be interesting.
I think that Scotland, the Scottish government and us in Scotland see that build to rent and PBSA, purpose-built student accommodation, which I guess maybe comes under the build to rent banner, I'm not sure, but that is going great in England. Seems to be a lot of investment, a lot of build to rent down south, and not really up here, because the institutional investors, the people that are building these things or that fund the building of these things, they've been scared off by the Scottish government policy. So I think it's a U-turn. on that. They have actually seen that there's a lack of investment in the country, and we do want more investment. We need more construction and so on. So I can understand it. I can understand it. It's just a shame that they've not said for this reason, and then also said, and we also want to support private landlords. It's like it's not there's no mention really apart from obviously well also private landlords, if they do this to the property and that to the property, then it'll be recognized, and that's good. It does hopefully will encourage more energy efficiency, better properties for tenants. But again, we think that landlords do their best to do that anyway, and then there is going to be EPC regulations coming in sometime soon anyway, and the changes there too, so that's going to have to be done. But this so do we know anything else about the timescales, Ross, in terms of the consultation closes in July, the bill is it in about 2 years' time that we think that this rent increase, rent caps might come in if they come in?
Yeah, I think so. I think it's I think it's 2027, isn't it? That
Yeah.
they're looking for it to be. So next year we'll have the Scottish parliamentary elections and and then this will come in. The idea is this will come in 2027.
Okay. Well, I mean, as you mentioned, Ross, we encourage everyone to get involved and have your say.
Yeah, just to note that also in the same consultation, there's views being sought on the how to end joint tenancies in the private rented sector. So we've not mentioned it in this,
Yeah.
but that's also part of the consultation. Yeah.
And that's what we don't want to talk too much about, because to be honest, we haven't looked at it as much as the rent caps. But that's where I think one person moves out and they want to remove their name from the lease, just not in order to make that a bit easier in all sorts of circumstances. So, well, thanks for watching, listening, and again, get involved. Have your say on the consultation. There'll be a link to do so here, and just get in contact anytime. Thanks a lot.
Thanks. Bye.
Bye now.